Hey guys, Nicole Ravioli here, back with the Boss Ravioli Queens podcast with my co-hosts,
Boss Lady Amy,
and Jasmine the Queen.
So this episode is called It's Not Thick 30, and we are going to be dishing out the tea on the Lizzo scandal that is currently still erupting, I feel like.
Yeah, it's like
going to be erupting for a while.
all over the place.
For a while.
I feel bad because I'm like such a fan of her music.
I love her so much.
Same. And I mean, especially with like the whole body shaming thing, like I never would have guessed that like someone who's so body positive.
From Lizzo.
I don't know, I've seen like so many like mixed reviews on like how it seemed like body shaming, but at the same time it seemed like she was trying to like look out for her dancers' well-being or whatever, because there was a story that was floating around saying that basically one of her dancers was kind of depressed, gaining weight a little bit more rapidly, and she wasn't like quite as like vibrant and stuff, and like I guess the way Lizzo addressed it sounded like she was body shaming her. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but like I mean there's so many things floating around about it right now, and I mean, I would hate to think, like, the worst of Lizzo. People do make mistakes.
Well, you know, tying it into, like, what we do, that's a really hard, like, line to toe, because you care about your employees, and, like, if you notice something that's wrong, you want to address it, but at the same time, what you say matters, and it's so important, like, how you say it, otherwise it could easily be an HR issue. So, and then it also, too, it's really hard because she was friends with her dancers, which, I mean, like, you would expect. They traveled together. They were on tour. Like, you know, you would expect that. And so, I mean, I guess we don't know the situation. We don't know what she actually said to her. We just know what's being alleged.
Right, and I mean, especially for, like, clout chasers and stuff, like, if her dancer is really trying to, like, just mess it up for her or whatever, like, maybe Lizzo said something she didn't like, I don't know. And, I mean, that goes with clout chasing. Like, if Lizzo said something that she didn't like and she just wants to mess up Lizzo's career, I mean, it's a good way to start that.
Yeah, I don't know why, but, like, it just always seems that every time something crazy happens or whatever, it's, like, after, like, these dancers or performers or whatever have like more of like that background fame, and then they feel like they need to come out with something. And I'm not saying like maybe some of it isn't true, that like it did happen or like certain stuff did happen, but like you don't know for sure or whatever. And I feel like a lot of celebrities wouldn't do that on purpose and wouldn't want to jeopardize their whole career over it.
I agree. I mean, looking at like all of the scandals from the past, there's been a whole lot of talk on Ronnie Radke. I don't know if either of you know who that is, but he's the lead singer for Falling in Reverse currently, used to be the lead singer for Escape the Fate, and people are still after him for crap that happened like 15 years ago now. I think like 10, 15 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's all of that stuff or whatever on Justin Bieber and his wife, and then there's all of that stuff on James Charles at the time, Jeffree Star. Like, it's lots of different celebrities.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and like, you know, I think that people forget, they're people.
Yep.
Like, everyone makes mistakes, nobody's perfect, and a lot of this stuff
Or they trust the wrong people. You
right,
know?
well,
like they think you might be close or whatever, and it's nice to be close to like people who work for you, but like sometimes like there's that fine line, and then stuff crosses the line, and maybe the employer doesn't realize that, but then all of a sudden there's allegations and lawsuits. And
I think there's a little bit of truth in everything. You know, every story has a little bit of truth. But the thing is that, like, these are such, like, members of such an elite society, if you will, that, like, there's so much.
It's okay. Nicole's just dying over here. It's fine.
I swallowed my drink a little funky, okay?
Oh.
Swallow much?
No, that's why I'm so shitty at it now, thank you.
You hear that? She doesn't swallow.
Get on it.
Fuck you,
slide into her DMs.
Please
Give
don't.
her some practice.
Please don't. Don't do that. Do not listen to Boss Lady Amy.
It's okay. Anyway, so going back to the Hollywood elites, there's such a select group of people that I think so many people put them on a pedestal. When something comes out that they are anything less than perfect, people will crowd the streets.
They just eat it up.
Yes,
they
exactly.
Eat it up.
It's like they become mobs.
Everybody loves the drama more than the success. So if somebody's super successful at something, they're like, oh, that's great, congratulations. But as soon as drama, everybody wants a reason to cancel somebody or to talk about them or they want the controversy because that's more juicy, that's more exciting.
Yeah, and not to mention, Lizzo's already gotten a shit ton of shade thrown at her for just being an overweight singer.
Right.
Exactly.
People make fun of her weight all the time, and, I follow her on a lot of stuff. She's literally a vegetarian or vegan or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not like she's trying to just stay obese or whatever, people are saying.
And she has workout routines and everything.
Yeah, she's
so it's
very
not
intense workout routines.
And she's very active.
Hold up a second, though. Peep the episode about body shaming that we did. Not everybody is beautiful, or everybody is beautiful. God dang it! Everybody is beautiful. There's so
Nicole
many.
Ravioli over here body shaming people.
Oh yeah, I'm a fat bitch too. I don't care. But no, there are health issues and underlying issues that people can have, and it makes it real hard for them to lose and or gain weight. You can't just judge a book by its cover.
I mean, it's genetics too, or whatever. Because even there's a lot of skinny people or whatever that they're they cannot even gain weight to save their life.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And y'all, don't think that we're just siding with Lizzo automatically. I mean, if she's guilty, she's guilty. But the thing is that there's two sides to every story.
And if she really is guilty of everything that people are saying, I'm gonna be so sad.
Me too.
I'm already sad.
Me
that
too.
It even came out.
I really did look up to her as an advocate for a lot of different people and stuff.
Same.
So.
Yeah, body positivity, just being a woman in general. She does. She does it well.
A fierce woman.
Yeah, somebody who didn't let the haters get to her and just kept going anyway despite everything.
And honestly, it might be a situation where she might have been showing all of us that she wasn't letting the haters get to her, but maybe behind closed doors, maybe she was really angry. Maybe she was saying really awful things because she was letting everything get to her. She just didn't want to show it,
Yeah,
right.
That could also be a thing. I don't know. I just feel you really need to take into account that just because someone is a celebrity does not make them not human. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we still all bleed red. We need oxygen to breathe. We need water, shelter, the three basics.
Right.
So...
I breathe glitter.
You fucking unicorn. But, yeah, I just think that everybody needs to take that into account.
Yeah, I totally agree. And also, too, I think it's really important to remember that, there's so many times when there's a big, celebrity scandal, and then there's also something going on in the government to, coincide. A lot of the times, people in the government will use this sort of thing as a distraction, and I know that sounds, totally, tin hat crazy, but there's a lot of, different articles, podcasts, videos to back it up. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have, talked about this. There are even, people in the government who have confirmed that this sort of thing happens.
And, so, just to go back a little bit or whatever, the stuff that's going on with Lizzo, if some people didn't know or whatever, is, just mostly the accusations for, I guess, sexual harassment and body shaming against her staff. So apparently she was... the allegations say that apparently she forced one of, her dancers to basically... took him to a strip club and, basically had them touch another... the performers and stuff inappropriately and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's true or not. And honestly, if it is, who knows? Because, I mean, that sounds like they'd be at the bar all drunk and not even knowing.
Right.
And I also feel someone would have taken a video of that.
Right. I feel like somebody at the... Yeah. Oh, even though at, a strip club you can't do that, it's illegal. I'm pretty sure.
That's true, I guess.
But I mean, even like, I feel like we would have heard about that. Like,
Right.
oh, Lizzo's at a strip club. Like, I feel like people would
Right.
have freaked out.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, she's just at a strip club.
And I feel like it would have been an allegation from like the strip club owner or something too, where like if it was a visually uncomfortable situation, that like you think they would have said something, like the bar owner or whatever.
Right. So another thing that she's being accused of is making her performers do a 12-hour quote-unquote audition, basically, even though they were already her dancers. I can't remember exactly what was said, but apparently they did something to her, and in order to like make it up to her, quote-unquote, she made them re-audition for the roles they already had with a 12-hour audition, no food, no water, no bathroom breaks. That's one of the allegations as well.
I was going to say, you definitely need to throw allegedly in there, because
Yes.
nothing's been proven yet.
Right.
Yeah. And also, I mean, to be honest, that doesn't sound any weirder than any other reality TV shit. So, I don't even know. There's like hundreds of like shows or whatever that do that shit. They're just like, oh yeah, you have to do this for 12 hours or whatever. No breaks.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's the first time anybody's seen something or heard something of some sort of TV show or like studio or something doing that. So
Right, and that doesn't make it okay, but it's like, it's still a very common thing.
yeah, like it happens all the time. So I don't know why everybody's freaking out about it.
She also was accused of like attempting to fist fight one of her dancers and basically like trying to throw down. Okay, how much
Yeah, but
does
like,
this actually happen in
but
Hollywood?
also, what did the dancer do?
Right.
Like, cause like if like my employee or dancer or whatever is gonna do fucking something really stupid or really piss me off or whatever, I'll fucking throw down too. Like.
Yeah, well, I mean, first off,
Like, if you get me to that angry point or whatever,
Right.
yeah, I'm gonna fucking do shit.
like, that has to happen in Hollywood a lot. I'm sure that it does.
Oh, all the time. There's no way that it doesn't.
Exactly. Like, it has to. I mean, it's Hollywood. There's so much that goes on in Hollywood that I don't think, quote-unquote, normal people are ever going to know about.
Right.
Honestly, I feel like the government and Hollywood is like exactly.
Intertwined.
Well, not only that, but I'm making like a Hunger Games reference because the Capitol and all of the victors or whatever got to stay in the Capitol after they won, or they could choose to stay there, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like the government would use them as like distractions, basically. And they would broadcast things to the quote-unquote districts.
Right.
You know, like I feel like we're literally living in the Hunger Games without being forced to kill each other.
Basically.
Oh, 100%. The world's on fire.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so anyway, being someone who grew up in a area of the Midwest where, like, you throw down. Like, that's what happens. Like, and so, isn't Lizzo from, like, Illinois or something?
I
Not positive.
can't remember off the top of my head.
I'm going to Google.
Yes, Google. So I am, from an area, like I said, where you can't really, like, take that part of yourself away. Like, you can take yourself out of that area, but you can't take yourself away from that mentality. And, Lizzo is from Detroit, Michigan, as we just found out from the lovely Google Master here.
Mm-hmm.
And, I do understand, like, the urge to fight. I do understand that urge to, like, rage. I totally get it. I know how to, like, not do it, and I know how to, like, damp it down, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. And I think that's something you can only... I think that's something you can only understand if you grew up that way.
I agree. I mean, I grew up in like what started as like a smaller town, kind of grew, but I've had to like defend myself, and I may have gotten into a tussle or two.
I think we all have. I think everybody's. I think most people have been in a fight at least once.
Like, I'm from the sort of place where, like, if you have beef with somebody that you work with, like, get off the clock, take it outside. Like, you know, no matter what you do.
I know exactly where you got that from. Talk to her all the time.
Oh my God, stop.
So, you know, not to say that it's an excuse or anything, like, but I do understand that urge to just, like, oh, need to throw down. Like, this is the only way you're going to figure it out. But, like, you know, not that...
Not gonna lie, sometimes it works too, like after you get in like a big fight and then all of a sudden...
And then you just cool down, and then it's over.
Yep.
Like, maybe that's just, I don't know, small town mentality. I don't know. And for me, it's not even coming from the place of like, oh, I've gotten so many fights, I'm so tough. It's more so like, I grew up basically in the ghetto. And, like, you know, you can take yourself out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of yourself.
And yeah, that's kind of true.
Like, there are some things that you just take with you no matter what. And I feel like Lizzo's a perfect example of that. I feel like she did take part of Detroit with her to California.
And I feel like a lot of like, rappers and artists or whatever, they do come from like nothing or like the ghetto and stuff, and they build their way up to like this fame.
I mean, literally, most of them talk about it in their songs.
Right,
exactly.
Literally, and then like,
especially
I mean, when you build
too.
yourself up like that or whatever, your main focus is usually like your music and like building up that reputation and everything, but until you get to the point where you like have people that are like advise you against, oh, this would be a good idea or this would not be a good idea kind of thing, sometimes stuff slips through the cracks.
Yeah. And I mean too, like, it sounds terrible, but the ghetto really is a different culture. Like the way we say things, the way like we talk to people, like, you know, if you're coming from a really sophisticated area and, like, you're a super educated person and, like, you've never been talked to this way, it is different. It really is. And, like, it's a whole, like, shift when you're talking to someone who has never, like, been in the ghetto before.
Facts.
I don't know. I just personally really hope they get this, like, stuff all figured out. I really hope Lizzo's not, like...
I just hope that it's not
part
true.
Of all of this.
I really hope that it's just fabricated.
I honestly do too. I really do like her, but, I mean...
If
some stuff is true or whatever, I just hope they figure it out. Maybe it will... Like, it could have been something as simple as, like, taken out of context. Who knows?
Right.
And I don't know, like, these people coming out about it and saying that it's because they're threatening her jobs. I'm like, okay, if she's threatening your job, like, why would you want to continue to work for her anyway then?
And not only that, but, like, why is she threatening your job?
Yeah, like,
because I can't see her doing
because,
that for
like,
no reason.
I'm hearing these accusations, but I'm not hearing the side about, like, what did you do, though? Like, are you slacking off? Did you do something to upset her already? Like, what did you do?
Right.
It's very one-sided right now, and it's all allegations against Lizzo, and nobody's, like, I feel like nobody's really looking into, like, are these stories that they're telling completely true or not? Or is it just...
I also feel like it's necessary to say that we're not victim shaming or blaming.
No.
It's literally just like we haven't heard anything other than what Lizzo did to them.
Yeah, but like what
we haven't heard the other side.
But what did
of
they
everything.
do? Because I'm like, I don't know, as an employer, if my employees are slacking off or like feeling some sort of way and not doing their job like they were supposed to in the first place or whatever, that's gonna piss me off.
Right, and I also feel like Lizzo is a very approachable person because any interviews I've seen with her, even like concert videos, she's always like got that full energy, like you can approach her.
I mean, she looks approachable. It doesn't mean she actually is.
Right.
I mean, we've never met her. We would love to either, but...
Also true. I think it's, you know, when you think about it as, like, leaving a review on Google or something for, like, a company, the chances of them, like, actually responding are so slim. And it's a lot harder when, like, you are the company. Lizzo is her company.
Right.
So it's a lot harder, I think, for her because it's, you know, like, if someone leaves a negative Google review for her place, it's like, oh, whatever. There's someone who's unhappy. Oh, well, there's going to be 10 happy employees. But Lizzo, like, this is her reputation. This is her life. Like, if this is true, she's done. She's not ever going to be able to do this again.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like the lawyers, if it is true, might be able to dig her out of it. I mean, they've dug other celebrities out of way deeper shit, so.
And a lot worse. Like, a lot worse.
That's true.
I mean, like, even, like, those allegations against James Charles with, like, the being a pedophile and stuff, or whatever, they had literally, like, proof, and he's still relevant.
Which is a whole nother episode in itself.
Just one example that came to mind.
One of, unfortunately, too many.
Yeah. So I think we've pretty much covered everything that we wanted to cover. I think it's safe to call it a day with this episode.
Yeah, so you can find us on freaking Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all at Boss Ravioli Queens. Feel free to find us.
And we have a Gmail.
Oh yes, we do have an email, bossravioliqueens@gmail.com. So you can email us there with any, like, questions, comments, or even suggestions or brand deals or anything you want.
If by chance some, like, big creator on TikTok hears us, you know, we are open to collabs.
Right.
We are.
Right.
1000%.
I would love to interview somebody, or you interview us. I don't care.
I mean, you know, we live off of that shit. We live
you
off
say
of Crocs. We live off of Scrubs. Like, you know, any of them. Monster.
I would have went with Taco Bell, honestly.
Oh my god.
Monster, sponsor us.
You know,
please.
Taco Bell is a great one for when you've worked that double. Nothing else hits like Taco Bell does.
It really does, though.
All right, y'all, we're doing the Midwest goodbye. Bye!
Bye.